Today, we're talking about someone whose face still sparks instant recognition decades later, Elizabeth Montgomery. Even now, her name continues to appear in classic television discussions, nostalgic clips, and fan tributes across the internet. And if you've noticed that too, you're definitely not alone. But let's slow things down for a moment and ask a simple question. Why does Elizabeth Montgomery continue to capture people's attention after all these years? For many viewers, she wasn't just a television actress. She represented warmth, charm, and a kind of effortless magic that made audiences feel at home. There was something about her smile, her voice, and the way she carried herself that felt genuine. She didn't need flashy performances to stand out. She simply had a presence that people remembered. But here's the thing. Most people remember the famous nose twitch. Very few know the woman behind the character. Before we dive into today's story, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit notification bell. Let's go back to the beginning. Born into a family already connected to Hollywood, Elizabeth Montgomery could have easily relied on her famous name. Her father was a respected actor, and the entertainment industry was never far away. But building a career of her own was a completely different challenge. She knew that audiences wouldn't remember her because of her family. They would remember her only if she earned it. So she worked. She appeared in live television dramas, took on different roles, and slowly built a reputation for being talented, reliable, and remarkably versatile. Long before she became a household name, she was already proving she had the skill to carry much bigger opportunities. Then everything changed. In the mid-1960s, she stepped into a role that would define an entire generation of television. She became Samantha Stephens in Bewitched. Almost overnight, the series became one of the biggest shows on television, and Elizabeth Montgomery became one of the most recognizable faces in America. But what made Samantha so memorable wasn't just the magic. It was the balance between fantasy and everyday life. Samantha wasn't trying to conquer the world. She was trying to build a happy family while hiding extraordinary abilities. That simple idea connected with millions of viewers, and Elizabeth brought the character to life with humor, kindness, and effortless charm. But here's the part many people overlook. Success on that level can become a trap. When an actor becomes closely tied to one iconic character, it's often difficult for audiences to see them as anyone else. Elizabeth Montgomery understood that challenge. Rather than chasing another sitcom that looked exactly the same, she gradually moved toward more serious and dramatic roles. She wanted to show people there was much more beneath the familiar smile. Over the following years, she appeared in television films that explored difficult subjects, portraying women facing real struggles and complicated lives. These performances reminded audiences that she wasn't simply America's favorite television witch. She was an accomplished actress capable of emotional depth that many had never fully appreciated. And all of this happened during an era when the entertainment industry often placed impossible expectations on women. Staying relevant wasn't easy. Reinventing yourself was even harder. Yet Elizabeth Montgomery continued to evolve. She chose projects that mattered to her instead of simply repeating old successes. She became known not only for her performances, but also for her intelligence, professionalism, and willingness to support causes she believed in away from the spotlight. Now fast forward to today. You'll often find clips of Bewitched circulating online. New generations discover the series through streaming platforms, while longtime fans revisit scenes that still feel surprisingly timeless. The famous nose twitch continues to inspire memes, tributes, and nostalgic conversations. But this renewed attention isn't just about nostalgia. It's about recognizing someone whose work has quietly stood the test of time. Elizabeth Montgomery created a character that became part of television history, but her legacy reaches beyond one unforgettable role. She showed that kindness could be powerful, elegance could be effortless, and true talent didn't need constant attention to remain unforgettable. Because in the end, Elizabeth Montgomery wasn't simply remembered for playing a magical character. She became one herself in the memories of millions. And that's the kind of legacy that never truly disappears.